Hi. Oh, okay. Break. Kind of wondering if anybody's going to be on tonight because, well, we're so close to most haunts opening, you know. Figured if you own a haunted house, you're kind of busy tonight. Getting things ready. Okay. I'm very lucky my wife will come over later and read comments. But I'm sculpting. So once I get situated, which I'm not situated yet, of course, she will probably, I'll just stay in one place, maybe I can do it. We will see. Hoping I can get this sculpture done in a 25-pound allotment here. I think that's possible. This is a commission, so I have some freedom on it, but not a ton. Hope everybody is getting ready to have a great Halloween. I today attended, well, yesterday and today, attended a class by Matthew Mungle, who did a lot of different movie effects. Thank you. I like my Beastman shirt too. Hello, Planet Awesome. Fondian, hello. Andrew Newman, hello. All right, hello. 20 people already. Crazy talk. It's me, Keith. Good deal. All right, so here we are, here we are. I need to look at my sculpting tools. But I don't need those to get clay on this. I'm going to put enough neck on this so that, I'm going to put enough neck on it so I can, attach fur or whatever to it. This is not Thomas Jefferson. This is Beastman. Not Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. Man was called a bumbling buffoon by Skeletor. So I can see the confusion, but this is definitely Beastman. Not Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, forefather, Beastman, master of the universe. Yeah. Yeah, this one is not Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is over there. You know how it is. So this has like no mouth and no eyes, so this is going to be fun. Gotta sneak away to get a vision out of this guy. You're watching my corpse videos. Oh, I'm just building up clay now, so I'll be able to sculpt. It's hard to sculpt without clay. I don't know if Thomas Jefferson wore a powdered wig. I guess George Washington did, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Not up on my 1770s fashion. I pretty much taught myself how to sculpt, and I did bad sculpting for a long time, And then there was a guy who helped me out online a little bit because I finally took sculpting seriously. And once I started taking it seriously and, you know, I began listening, it was good. I got better pretty fast. And now I try to mentor people that same way. I'm not a great sculptor, but I'll say I'm good. I'm not great. I haven't crossed that threshold yet. Okay, so that now has a coating on it, which is nice. I'm going to grab a rake so I can smooth that out. Hello, Warren Maxwell. Hello, David Williams. Thank you, Maestro K. Linda Forbes. Hello, Halloween Lifer. Okay. It seems like I've abandoned you, but I have not. I'm just trying to find my sculpting tools, which I know I have sculpting tools, I just don't know where they're at right now. Okay. Nope. Well, I have a couple sculpting tools. Really should use a tooth rake for this. Give me another moment. I'm going to try and find some other tools. A great big bin of sculpting tools that I use for, you know, sculpting. Hey, I think I found it. Hooray! Okay. I wish I could put you guys in a place where you can see what I'm doing and I could see the words. You know what? That is kind of why I have this TV, but I never my computer. Life is hard. We're not open yet. We open Friday. How do you do skeleton eyeballs? The same way you do regular eyeballs. I always leave that light on. I always sometimes leave that light on. So hi everyone. Hello Dark Illusions. Well, you know what? In the heat of haunt season, I still have stuff to do. So sometimes I can film it. But sometimes I cannot. So it all depends. This is not all of my sculpting tools by any means, but it's enough. So I was looking for a tooth one of those. This is not a metal tooth one, but it's a tooth one. It's going to help me smooth this guy out. I'm not super duper worried about symmetry right now, so I'm really just kind of getting this guy smoothed. And once it's smooth, I'll kind of start working. It is very warm in here because I'm getting in here very late tonight, so I haven't had the AC on. And it's been it's Texas. It's been about 100 or so degree day. Probably 85 in the shop, maybe 90. It's not apocalyptically warm, but it's still warm. I think there should be an amendment to when they say it's going to be 98 today, but it's going to feels like 102. I think they should have, for fat people, it feels like 107. Just throw that caveat out there. That, I don't know, I guess fat people retain more heat. Anyway, put down the cheeseburgers a little bit. Okay, here we go. We're smoothing out. Yeah, I kind of really want to sculpt the Wolfman right now because, well, who doesn't want to sculpt the Wolfman? So how do I do skeleton eyeballs? The best size, I think, are deodorant balls. You can get them from a company called Monster Guts. I think that Fright Props may sell them also, but they are just little white balls in deodorant. Or if you go to the dollar store and get 2 ball deodorants, you can get 2 of them for $2 because things at the dollar store cost $1. Yeah, so this piece has some very interesting anatomy. Ta-da, that's not a penis. That's like a proboscis, which will be much more evident later. I'm the director of Dark Hour Haunted House in Plano, Texas. Dark Hour Haunted House. I'm a little biased, but I think it's a good show. We work pretty hard on it. All right, so that now has me, pretty much covered there. I'm gonna start this proboscis. I have some big eyes to put on it, but hopefully y'all have enough imagination. Just because these would throw me off if they were clear. Just putting a little bit of color on them so that I can see them in the sculpt a little better, if that makes any sense. My brain has to do math of what it looks like through them and take that away, and it'll be harder for me to really look at the sculpture. Ethan, I have no idea what you're talking about. When I said you can get deodorant balls from a company called Monster Guts. All right. So you talked about skeleton eyeballs. It's a ping pong ball. It's too big. That's a deodorant ball. You used to be able to buy them 144 from Monster Guts. I'm not sure if you can or not still. See that size difference? It's pretty big. This is one of the cheesy Spirit Halloween eyeballs. Smaller than a ping pong ball, not bad. Buy them in a 12-pack from Spirit Halloween or most party stores as like party favors. Turn them around and they don't look cheesy. This is just a wooden ball that I got from Hobby Lobby. They come in packs of 12. And it's round, it's wood. Any of these are fine eyeballs. Right now in Hobby Lobby also, shame on them, they have Christmas stuff out. But these little ornaments, the little fake ornaments, plastic, don't get glass, don't do that, no, make great eyes. And I have to plug in, because I have a low battery. Of course I do. Okay. Now, hope that helped. Just went to my eyeball drawer and pulled a few things, like you do. You could print and cut them out. You could paint them on. I mean, there's lots of ways. I'm just painting a monster. I mean, I'm sculpting a monster. I'd probably go with painted, Ethan, if it were me. This is quite the proboscis that this thing has here. The original looks a bit like a wang. I'm going to try to make this look less wang-like. See what we can do. I was painting a mural earlier, so I have some paint on me. I just saw on the camera, got a little on my face. Apparently I get into my work. And I actually think that this is going to be long enough. This is pretty long as far as facial extensions go. It might not seem that way, but thank you, Carrie Egbert. See how the toothed one really did a good job of kind of evening out. And now this smooth one is just getting rid of all those tooth marks. Everything that you guys see me do, I have to do on the other side. This side is not as exciting for y'all. I think you'll survive. I'm actually sculpting on a new Ed head. It's hollow and it's made of plastic. It's a nice sturdy plastic. I kind of like that. The clay is sticking to it very well. It has it's a water jug basically. You can put hot water in it and that should warm up your clay and make it release a little easier. I don't use oil-based clay, so that's not a problem for me. That's not really a feature. I just kind of like the head and the simplicity of it. I got it from Bitty Mold Supply. Buy it from whoever has cheapest shipping. To you, if you're near Ohio, then Monster Makers is the way to go. If you're closer to me in Texas, Bitty Mold Supply. Maybe they sell on Amazon and you're a Prime member. I don't know. Okay, we're making a Mothman-esque type creature. This is not a wang. It looks a little wangy, but I say nay nay. And the eyes are going to be right about here. I'm just going to mark them a little bit, so I don't put these right on top of them. These eyes light up, so that's going to be a thing. Bitty has a store in Atlanta, that is correct. I don't know if they sell all the same stuff yet. I don't know. Yes, that was a good werewolf. It was made by Matthew Mungle, who was the makeup artist on Bram Stoker's Dracula. He was a makeup artist on Edward Scissorhands. He knows his stuff. And I attended a class from him this weekend. And I'm not, again, I'm not super worried about symmetry, but I am going to get these guys looking together. It should look like they're on and from the same face, Better. All right. This also has like a skull-like nose on it that we'll put down here. I'm going to build up under these eyes a little bit. I love the guys who got the earwigs and put in them and became gladiator Beastmaster. Okay. And you're talking about the berserker types. Yeah, I gotcha. Don't think this was inspired by them. Unfortunately, this is art that I got. It was someone else's mask, who I had not seen before. I didn't know it. And they said, I want one like this. I'm like, well, can you buy that one from them? And they're like, I don't know who made it. So I didn't know who made it. And I said, I'm not going to remake it, but I'll put my own spin on it. And he wants a Mothman, and you know, we're doing what the customer wants. And I think I'll do, like on my fish man, I did some nice cutouts here and put a mesh in, and that worked really well for the eyes. And I think I'll be able to do that again. And there wasn't a lot of visual interest on the head, which that's, you know, it's a lot of smooth. These eyes are, I think, much bigger than what were on the original. Actually, I know they are because that's kind of what I drew from the original. Okay. Plastic Ninja. Biddy is brick in the yard. Yes, thank you. I'm going to add the antenna later. For moths like this, I'm going to use fiddle ferns from Hobby Lobby. They look good, they feel good, and all your friends are doing it. Okay. And there'll be some bits coming out of here, but I just need to set up for that. And the more I take out of here, the less weight is out there on the end of this schnoz, the less likely it is to break off during the night while I'm inside sleeping. This will be mouth parts. Is the internet hookup bad? Am I skipping and stuttering a lot? And my camera's my phone, so that should actually be pretty fine as far as quality goes. Don't forget, the harder that it gets for me to do this, the less likely I am to do it. That adds a little bit of interest. I think a proper rake tool would be a little more suited for this, but is not what I have at the moment. Wolfman Camp was excellent. Excellent. Yes, I remember those guys. Those guys were awesome. They had a name. They were like something gliders or something. So yeah, Monster Palooza went on this weekend, but I was at Wolfman Camp. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near done, but this piece does not have a lot of stuff to it. I'm going to force it to have a jaw line, and an interesting one by putting it further back than normal. Although this doesn't have a normal jaw, maybe it used to, and this is, you know, the evolved form. Go get something to smooth this out with. Masks from me, a half mask is gonna, if you want like a custom half mask from me, it's about $250 to start. And then if you want a full mask, it's about $450 to start. But if you just want to buy a half mask that I already make, you know, most of those are like $75, you know. If it has hair on it, it'd be $95. If it has, you know, 2 kinds of hair on it, then it's going to be $125. If it's got horns, it's going to be $150. You know, because that's got hair and horns and all that stuff. So it all depends on the bells and whistles. My most expensive mask right now is about $450. So, good evening, Mary. This is hand lotion. And I paint hand lotion on my sculptures sometimes. It does a couple things. One, hand lotion with lanolin in it. It puts oils into the clay and makes it closer to wet. I don't spring for wet. I just use water clay, which is pretty soft. And this won't be firmer, but it does make it dry out a little slower, and kind of eats the surface just a little bit and gives me some nice, it smooths very nice. Smooths, not smooths. Smooths is not a word. So yeah, we're doing some sculpting tonight. This is a mask that I will most likely mold tomorrow. And then once I mold it, obviously I'll pour, pull, and paint it, and I should have this sucker shipping out by Thursday, Friday. This is my second crack at this. I adhered a little too closely originally to my reference material, and I did not like that. So I'm knocking this one out this way. where I took the reference and I drew it on a piece of paper. So I'm going to be twice removed from it. Hope everybody out there is gearing up for a happy Halloween. I know I am. Okay, that's pretty cool. Can I mold this with a two-piece mold with that nose? Absolutely. Finishing a brain in a jar and a swamp witch. You love the swamp witches, don't you? You mean my old deranged masks, Plastic Ninja? It's been a while. Jerry, what kind of PayPal information do you want? Are you looking to buy something? I'm not ready for this season, so I'd appreciate if you slowed your roll, young man. I still have a crap load of stuff to do. Yep. I do like doing the deranged mask, and I might bring those back at some point. I like making those. But I kind of felt at that time that enough people had sort of knocked off, what I was doing. And I don't mean that, in a hateful way at all. But enough people were kind of doing that same type of deal to where it didn't make sense for me to do it too. I'm just using the loop tool on this, the loop end of this, to just push up like a fold or a wrinkle. And I'll smooth that out here after a while, but I just wanted to, is there a part of the design that reminds you it's skin? And I need this to feel like skin. Okay. Put it on and I brush it out. And I brush it out. When I brush it out, it almost goes away, but it just becomes more subtle. It's very rare that things on your face are as prominent as you think. They're much more subtle, and often one of the issues is just too much clay in people's structures. And these eyes will light up, so that'll be fun. Am I Batman? No. No, not Batman. I'm much closer to Beast Man right here than I am Batman. Let's get some more tools into action here. See what I've got in my bag of tricks. It'd be great if I had a smaller loop tool. Kind of counts. That's a good loop tool. Okay. All right, we'll go with these guys for now. Not at all the ones that I wanted. So what was I cut caffeine out? And boy, I think that was a terrible idea. I liked my caffeine. So I see something I don't like. But I just realized if I move this up higher, then it will make the proboscis seem longer. Right now it's making it look stubby. So let's move that. Is the audio cutting out for anybody else, or is that just Jay, I guess? Didn't really see the name very well. Jay. Sorry, Jay. Tent spray? No, I would not mold with fiberglass. It does not wick the moisture out. Yeah, I don't know what tent spray is. Sorry. I'm doing great. Bob Kane created Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Anyway, audio's okay. Great. Jay, it may be you, I'm afraid. I think mine is actually okay right now. So remember, I just cut this off with a wire, and I'm going to move it up here. By moving it up here, I can extend this proboscis. Not extend it, but make it look like it's bigger. I'm just kind of filling in what I just took apart. You know, it's not like, it's a week of my life. And if it was, don't be afraid to correct a mistake just because it took you a long time to make it. Jay, I don't think it's, Big Dog, I don't think it's my internet. My internet has been bumped up quite a bit. I guess it's possible, but the last couple times I've been on, I haven't had any problems. I guess it's possible that just tonight I'm having problems, but I don't know that. But if some of you are saying the audio is great and others are saying the audio is choppy, then it's not me. That means I'm delivering good audio. In Australia, the audio is fine. That leads me to believe any issues may be on someone else's end. Now, see how fast we made that correction there? It's not 100% done yet, but don't be afraid to just fix it if you see something wrong with your sculpture. Won't take that long to fix it. And just over here, I keep putting my hand down on that lotion, and that's really gross. Now, it technically is hand lotion, so it's not that gross, I guess, but still, unexpected slurpiness is bad. Just some ridges and texture in there, a little bit of manipulation. And I know that in here I want like a skull nose almost. And I want to put in areas to see under here. So all that's going to kind of go away. I'm going to thin this a little. And I'm thinning this in order to have a flat area to put vision in. I did kind of prefer it to be swelled out a little bit, but if it's rounded out in front of your eye, then you can't see. So I am thinking about the actor as I do this. No, Fondayan. We're just not there yet. Have 0 patience. What the heck? These areas that I'm working on right now, these are areas where I will put in mesh. And that mesh will allow actors to see. I'm actually going to put the mesh in a few places so that it'll blend in kind of. And you won't be able to just say, oh, those are the eyes. Class was awesome. It was pretty darn amazing. I don't have mad skills. I have decent skills. Do a speed test, big dog, and see if you're getting the 1 terabyte bite up and down. Because if others are not getting it, that means I'm sending out good. Getting the chop, I meant. We'll do another one of those. Right here. No, I'm not. I'm going to put this back like I made an accident. I'm just going to say that'll be enough vision. Yeah, that'll be enough. Sure. I can also remove some in here and let these be pull-outs. And just put backing behind that too. I have to make these deep enough where I can cut them out easy. Once they're cut out, I'll put the grid in behind them. And I will be putting some more texture in. I'm just looking at this guy to figure out what that's going to be. Normally I would just do some, Google searches and look up images, but I don't have my computer in here, and you guys are on my phone. All right, I actually like this. To get up and get 10 feet away from it and walk around to the side. It does look a little alien-y. And I'm not an alien guy. So well, come on, Masato. I actually need the work. I need the help, I mean. It puts the lotion on the bug. Indeed. Yes, I always start out with new clay and then I throw it away when I'm done. Yes, I am going to do LEDs like the Krampus mask, but it'll illuminate this whole shell. That whole eye will glow. I think I'm going to close off these eyes. Meaning, I'm going to reveal less of them. But I just want it, I don't necessarily want it like bug eye. I like that they're calling it a Mothman, but it's not what I would do as a Mothman. Like, I've already made a Mothman mask. So in my head, I've kind of settled what Mothman looked like. This isn't it. But it's cool because now I'm stretching and I'm having to fit, that other design in with what I'm doing. It's kind of cool. This guy will be a one-night sculpt, I think. And then I'll come back and I'll clean him up tomorrow before mold. And clean up means about 2 hours or so of work. Just to smooth out, back of the head and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to nail all the anatomy and figure all that out. Right to now. I also don't want to vary too much from the head. I want to have enough connection on the human head where this doesn't have to be crazy supported or anything like that. There we go. Now I can move this guy around. Awesome. That's a zombie I'm working on. It's kind of a full torso. It's a head, neck, and body. I'm going to work on him tomorrow. I have a couple other projects around here that I can't reveal, so I'm shooting this side of the room pretty much. Wonderful. Yeah, full head. No. I will be molding the zombie until maybe tomorrow night, but most likely I want to do it tomorrow night. Lucky Ladybug, thank you. Probably not doing a Jersey Devil for a while, but it's possible. This was a commission. Okay. What's cool about the hand lotion, it just kind of makes everything melt together. water-based clay, so there's a lot of moisture in it, and that kind of makes it break down, but it's really homogenizing. And you can, stipple in a nice texture too. Like, I have ideas that I want to do with this, but it's so far from the source material I can't do it. I want to like carve a lot of intricate things into it. I think that would be really fun, texturally, over the whole head. But the head in the reference just looks kind of like a giant testicle because it is just, smooth skin, tight skin. So what I do have to do is make this look like skin. You know? Yes, because the lotion adds something. When it goes away, when the lotion goes away, it leaves that lanolin in there, it leaves those oils in there. And that almost turns this water-based clay into wet. Because wet is water-based clay plus glycerin. This actually has glycerin in it, it has lanolin in it, which is, I believe it's an oil that comes from sheep's wool. So, nice and smooth. Like a baby's bottom. How all these people know what baby's bottoms feels like, I have no idea. I don't really touch a lot of baby bottoms, to be honest. Being a single man and all, with no children. Well, I'm not a single man, but I was a single man for most of my life. But I'll be married for 15 years in November. Isn't that awesome? I think that's awesome. Okay. We're getting there. Figure out what's happening with these brows. I want something, not brows, but okay, they're kind of brows. This is where like a nictitating membrane would be released from. Well, now we'll get a towel from my handies. It's not very moth-like right now. It'll get better. Maybe. Not doing much for me, texturally. I know I don't want to look pieced together like it does up here. So at the very least, I've got to just fill that in and make it smooth. I just stabbed my thumb in up there just to make sure that I wasn't too far off of that head form, because I do want this to be a rather tight mask. That's not terrible. It's nice and subtle. Sorry guys, I'm getting a lot of messages right now. I buy my clay from Biddy Mold Supply, Brick in the Yard Mold Supply. I used to buy it from a place called Trinity Ceramic, but then, which is pretty near me. But then as soon as Mitch started carrying it, I buy it from him. I do prefer to make relationships with vendors and support folks who support, you know, stuff I like. Like, I use my haunt insurance, I use Ken Donay. Always sponsors, you know, dances and balls and stuff at Trans World. So, you know, his part of what I'm paying for is that good time that I have in March. You know, Froggies is the same way. I buy my frog fluid from Froggies because they're huge supporting the industry. I don't know of an industry show that they don't vend at, you know, or an industry event that they don't give, you know, prizes to or whatever. They're just a really nice company. A little too on the nose on that, I think. It's got some texture, but not what I'm looking for. I'm really not used to having to do this much experimentation. Normally I have an idea in my head and I just kind of go, but being stuck to reference material is making me sculpt a lot slower than normal. I go straight to clay. It's faster for me. Am I doing anything special for Halloween? Well, I run a little haunted house called Dark Hour Haunted House, which is going to be opening up on the 20th. So the only thing I do for Halloween really is work a haunted house. And I think what I'm missing is containment for those eye pockets. Eye pockets. Sounds like Apple's making them. So if I just put a little bit of this right here, that's going to give an end to that eye pocket a little bit. Yeah, I think that feels better. A lot of what we do is by feel, not like literally with your fingers, but we're just, you know, we try little things to see what works. Look a little fingerprinty where I've been moving them around, so I'm filling in my own fingerprints, finger dents, I should say. Now, going around here with this will make this seem more eyelidy and less clay slapped on there. Yeah, really cool experience, really cool class. Am I going to do things exactly the way that Matthew Mungle did them? No. I mean, one of the things he used was a $700 wig. $700. And that's not practical for me. I would say at this stage in my life, but I don't see it ever getting there either. Nor do I really want it to, you know. I'm a haunted house guy, and that's not practical for haunts. If a haunt wanted to spend $700 on a wig, I would probably urge them against it. And say, listen, you can buy a lot of cool stuff for that. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Yeah. I'm going to mold with these in and then cut them out and put glass spheres back in. Or not glass, but acrylic. It's weird because I think Mothman, I think insect, and I want to do all these little chitinous plates and things. And no, this guy is very skinny, scabby. You know, he's skin, and it's really interesting to me. This time, when I say interesting, I mean difficult. So I want to shade this down, giving a little bit more weight to the top. Do the same over here. Taking more off the bottom of the line and less off the top of the line. And that'll make a wrinkle or fold that's heavy. It's got weight to it. Correct. Michael, thank you very much for helping. I prefer white clay. That's what I normally prefer. Goodbye, cobwebs. Bye, Keith. Yeah, I'm not a big texture pad guy, um, but I'll get there. I'll figure out the texture on him. I think my first, thing is going to be to get him nice and smooth. Sea sponge here that I'll get some moisture for. Take me a second to fill this with water. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, not yet. I'm not ready for that. But now I have water. You should always have some water when you're sculpting. I don't mean to drink, but I do have water to drink. Cool, Masato. Yes, it feels very Ed Edmonds right now. That's for sure. A little Star Warsy, perhaps. I will go ahead and trench those little wrinkles I just did. Let's see if we like them. I don't know if we will or not. I say we, I mean me. Go back and forth. And I add and subtract, and I add and subtract, I add and subtract. And I'm just seeing, what's going to stick. What am I going to put on there and say, okay, I don't want to change that. Okay. Of course I have. Taking an airborne every day already. Tomorrow, well, flu shot, it's flu shot season for sure. Zero the Clown, I haven't seen your question. Anyone know where to find what info? Anyone know where to find the info? At Stiltby Studios. Okay, yeah, see, I'm not seeing in text, so tagging me in text doesn't help. I just have to turn and look at it every now and then, so forgive me. Any information on my camps? Are you gone? Zero. If you've left, then don't say anything. But if you're still there, I'll happily answer your question. But I am also working, so please don't get upset or pissy if I don't get to a question right away. I'm trying. Gone, you gone. I'm surprised clowns watch my videos. Howdy. All right, so I'm gonna brush that out. With just a little water, which is really gentler than the hand is. The hand lotion is really aggressive, and water is kind of, it's erosion. You're using water erosion at that point, which erosion is kind of a gentle, gradual process. Hello, Mark FX. Since this is skin, it might have some, wrinkles up here that were like almost like regular forehead wrinkles. Zero the Clown is gone, I think, because I verbally asked if they were still here. I would gladly answer their question. I just hadn't seen it. I'm not being a jerk, I just hadn't seen it. And I love talking to all you people, but while I'm doing this, kind of my focus is my work, which I think is why people like watching. Otherwise, I could just vape clown it up and not do anything while I'm live, and just talk to y'all and hit the vape and play some music. I would be bored out of my skull. All right, I'm getting there. I almost have this trenched. Once it's trenched, I can paint it and see if I hate it or not. Those are not bad wrinkles. Yeah, see, I think I just make this nice and skinny, like covered in skin, which means these would have a lot of wrinkles on them. That's good and exciting. I can certainly do that. If it's skin, I can give it some wrinkly texture. This would be much more like a normal eyelid appearing at that point, which to me it's a little weird for a Mothman. That's okay. he doesn't identify as a Mothman. Did I just assume Mothman's gender? I did. In the term Boy Scouts. Where are they going to breathe? Well, I can put breathing in underneath here. That's my plan. The eyes are going to get meshed. All these get meshed. And this gets like a proboscis thing, like a stabby insect thing. But thanks for jumping on that, big dog. I appreciate you listening and supporting. It's very good to see Scott on and Michael Lassiter on, who are kind of moderators. They're helping out with links and questions. Yeah, the class that I did, it actually came with a book, which was very cool, of how he did everything. And then, so the first day we really kind of went to the book and his whole process of how he put everything together and all that, where he sources materials from. That's really cool. And then today he actually applied the full suit and makeup and all that. Really neat stuff. Okay, I'm kind of getting to where I need to be on this sculpture. I'm going to put a lot of veins on the back of the head, and I have to go get the antenna. So you two get in a staring contest, and I'll be right back because the antenna are in my car. Okay? Okay. We'll right here. Whew. I'm back! Don't freak out! See? Fiddle ferns. These are great moth antenna. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind if it looks like the fly. That's good. Fly was awesome. Skeksis. I've been flying a lot lately, so I watched some of the. Yes, he will teach more classes at Biddy in the future. Um, got to watch some of. See, that's. I'm not like putting it into the clay, pressing it in, so it's not holding great, but I just want to show you guys. That's kind of how the antenna will go. Like that. I may shorten them a touch. I'll probably sweep them a little more back. So it looks like he's moving fast. I am back. Yeah, anything with those big bulbous eyes is flea stackish. I can see that. It doesn't hurt my feelings. All right, so I'm going to just start refining this guy and pretending the sculpture is mostly done so that and trick myself into seeing what kind of needs to be done next. I like those wrinkles. I like these wrinkles actually. Right now, I would kill for some good visual reference. But what has this structure? You know, how is this going to wrinkle? I think that these wrinkles are going to pull in this way. But remember, my drawing has these kind of wrinkles under the eye. So I'm going to do an ear hole where I think the ear hole should be. A little large. It's okay. Let's do it on the other side before I forget. Okay. Boom. Push it back in a little bit. It's a sweet cloaca. No. My cloaca. Let's do some wrinkly stuff around this. Towards the back of the head, we'll do some of these wrinkles. Come here, I'll tell you a secret. I actually don't have a secret, I just wanted to make it creepy. Which is no secret. Okay. Bye, Blue River Lore. Yeah, fast bugs are the best bugs. I don't think slow bugs live long. At least not around my wife. Or my cats, for that matter. Okay, so these are kind of growing on me. Now these wrinkles have to go out this way, which makes a little bit less sense. We'll see if these work as well as those under the ear ones. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. Yes, it does look kind of skeetery. This is a version of the Mothman that someone wanted. This is just right after MHC. I think I got this order, and it's time for me to get him out the door. This is the second version of this sculpt because I'm having a hard time with it, and I think it's because I don't like the reference material. You know, and it's hard to go against your nature, and a lot of what this sculpture is, it's not an Allen sculpt. You know, this looks like a Jordu or Ed Edmonds type sculpt. I'm not saying that my sculpture is of that quality. What I'm saying is the source material, it looks a little alien, and that is right up their alley. And that's not so much up my alley. We'll see how this do. Okay, but that is some around the ear hole wrinkles. This guy is gonna, this side gets some around the ear hole wrinkles. I'm gonna go a little deeper here too, because I thought I could have gone deeper on the other side. And that'll make trenching easier. That'll make several things easier. See how those are much bolder? That's good for me. That's good. Can I make inside the nose a little deeper? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I might even do that, but I don't know yet. These are going to go the other way, so it's this side that I eat away on. That's a little weird because this one is, the weight is going up, so I'm going to change that. And then right here, I'll start going the other way. So now the weight is coming from the top. The weight is pushing down on this one. And now that is a subtle shift, but this one is now pushing back and down on this piece. Okay. Just a little taken off of these corners, but not a lot. So, I don't think I'll make it to Halloween Horror Nights this year, and I really want to, because they have a Wolfman versus Frankenstein house, they have a Yeti-themed haunted house. What is not for me to love, you know? It turns out I have a job at a haunted house, and both those things happen at the same time. Don't think it's this one. Let's just make this a wrinkly sack mess and do the other side of this head. I mean, let's do the back side of this eyeball. You know, and these will even flow down into those somewhat. And now the weight of these should be pushing, I think. Yeah, so this thing is skin, you know, so I'm gonna just wrinkle up this skin. Water, 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 water. I want to just soften these, smooth them out. And if I did lotion now, it would be too. This guy is really close to 25 pounds. Those antennas on it will be bewitching. I think they'll be cool. Yeah, 6-inch acrylic domes. Not 700 times, like 12. So you're fine. And I have an unopened one right here. Christmas Crafts ornaments from Hobby Lobby. They are a 4.75-inch acrylic sphere. Now that's 2 half spheres that make 2 eyes. So my haunted house opens Friday, and I don't know what character I'm going to play when I get to be outside. Now, normally, first weekend, it's not necessary for me to be outside. But there comes a point in time where there are so many people that I kind of need to be out there and calming them down and stuff. I think I will play my Wendigo, but I decided I'm not. I tried it. Immortal does really great work, but they're not comfortable for me long term, and I need to be out there all night. So I'm going to make a latex mask for my cannibal guy, who is he's a Wendigo, but he's a cannibal. Pioneer. His name is Skinner. His name used to be Donner, like a joke for the Donner Party, because they ate each other, and it was the right time period. However, when you say Donner in a character voice, it sounds like you're saying Donna. So I had a lot of people think my name was Donna, which I'm okay with, I guess. I'm a fairly modern, free-thinking dude. It doesn't bother me, but I do want them to get my character name right. So I changed it to Skinner because he looks like a Skinner anyway. And that's a lot easier to say with teeth and all that in it. And I'll just wear a nice set of teeth that I've got. The Bite Mare's Demon teeth are kind of my current favorites. Well, I'll be doing a casting video for this in the future. I'm going to attach the domes to the finished thing. That's why I've got them in there. But I'm going to use the latex to be a socket. I'll cut this out and I'll put the dome in. So there you go. I'm also going to mount this mask onto a EVA foam helmet because I'm going to have some electronics on it with the eyes lighting up and such. So it'll be on a helmet. Now, my little end cap that I did for the eye holder is not well blended in. I'm going to get that blended in. Not well blended in over here either. At least I'm consistent, even if I'm not good. Can't be good and be consistent. That's what someone's grandpa ought to have always said. And let's try those real droopy wrinkles under here. Let's kick these guys out this way. Hello, wife. You have? Oh, hallelujah. I already had one person rage quit because I didn't get to their question fast enough.
You raged?
He rage quit. He said, well, he keeps skipping over my question, so I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
He was a clown. It was something the clown. So, yes. I kind of understand. Friggin' Liver Eater Johnson. That's a good name.
This is what needs to go out in the mail tomorrow.
Great. The house I'm in was owned by Reed from the Donner Party. Well, that's awesome.
Did you get questions answered about Monster Camp?
I had one question asked. I never answered it. That's who rage quit.
Oh.
Yeah. Start with asking me, have you ever made a mask with a face that opens up? Okay.
Similar to a popular Netflix show. We'd love to have one for our haunt.
I have no idea what popular Netflix show they're talking about.
Sure.
Do you?
Also,
Have I ever made one with a face that opens up? Way back in the day, I made a moving predator, and I do stuff with servos, but I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do that. Have I done it before? Yes, a couple different ways, but I don't know what you're referring to. Could you tell me?
Referring to Denigorian.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that can be done. And then you want to figure out if you want servos or pull cables. That's the difference between a $400 mask and an $800 mask.
Any kind of coffee work for smoothing day?
What's that?
Well, any kind of coffee work for smoothing day. Probably didn't mean coffee.
Can you type that again with your fingers?
The Art of Daniel. What did you mean by coffee work for smoothing?
He was asking someone else.
Hello from Scotland. Hello. Very nice, thank you. Hello.
I'm so glad you're reading questions, wife.
I just didn't think of
What do you think of this thing?
dinner schooling, so late.
What do you think of this?
He looks very different from the first one.
Yes. But I had a reference picture that I pulled up on my phone and I sketched. This is not a wang. It's like a
I didn't
proboscis.
think you were for it.
Yeah, it looked a little wangy.
You don't have to explain that to me.
Okay. Thought you might have feared
No, no.
I was going to
No,
the dark side.
no. Okay, another show. Hello, everyone. Very kind. Hello.
They're all just saying, they watch for you.
They don't, that's not true.
They just hope that you
Then
show
nobody
up.
would watch this show because I'm rarely here. Is there a brand of clay you prefer to sculpt with?
No, just water-based clay. Now I normally buy just something called white stoneware, which is almost a type of clay more than a brand. It happens to most of the time be from Laguna Clay Company. Well, when I stop this, okay, you can go back and watch the beginning once it loads up.
The Art of Dynamite, your water holder is a coffee container. Just
Oh.
making a joke.
Okay.
I love your art and sculpting.
Turns out I am way too literal for your jokes.
You are, and you don't understand coffee, but you're learning.
Yeah.
That's fun. He looks good.
We'll see. I think this is one of those where I won't like it until it's in paint. It's very not an Allen sculpt. You know, it doesn't feel like something I would make.
What was your inspiration for this sculpt? It kind of feels like a bug man from This Island Earth meets a plague doctor. Oh, fun idea.
My inspiration for this sculpture was someone said, "Hey, will you make this for me?" And they call it a Mothman, is what they call it, and I've already made a Mothman, and in my brain, that's what Mothman looks like. It's very hard for me to wrap my head around it being different, but that's not a bad thing. You know, it's just that it's, well, it's very different. Different thing. All of these will be open for breathing. These are open for seeing. Well, they'll have screen in there. Now it's wrinkly, like they wanted it. And I'm going to start smoothing. And the back of the head is on here for convenience's sake. The price that I gave the person was for a half mask, and it's going to be a half mask. Well, it'll be a whole mask. I'm going to mount it on a helmet so I can get the feelers on it, the antenna. It will have antenna.
Talk about your class today.
I have talked a little bit about the class today.
You got to be a student.
I was a student, and that was actually very cool. I did really enjoy.
Hey, Scott.
I wasn't in charge. No one was asking me questions. Is that Scott Colhart?
Yes.
I need to
Hi,
get.
Scott.
I need to get back with you about Monster Museum stuff. I'm sorry. It just hit my busiest time of year right away.
When asked to do a custom piece for a client, how do you calculate the cost that you will charge that person per piece?
Well, most pieces are pretty easy. Normally it's a mask or a costume, and I just make enough of those where I have a good idea. But every now and then they do something like really wonky or crazy, and a good way to go is cost of materials times 5. So whatever I think my materials are going to cost, multiply that by 5, because that's what the labor you're going to have in it. Or I can think of how much time I think it will take, and then add 50% to that, because You know, things happen. And then add the cost of materials to that, and you will just, you know, figure out my day rate. Now, whatever your day rate is, it'll take 3 days. It's the cost 3 of your day rate, you know. This is helping. There's a sculptor, I believe his name is Jeremy Bohr, and pretty much all of his sculpts he'll go through and hit with the sponge at this stage, just so it all kind of has, and I think that really helps you see what's happening in the sculpt. So that's who I picked this up from. I don't do it on everything because a lot of times I have a good idea of what's happening with it, you know, in my head at least. Maybe that's my conceit, I'm not sure. But I feel like, you know, I have a good grasp on it most of the time, but obviously I'm struggling with this sculpture. What time is it, wife?
10:15.
Yeah, obviously I'm struggling because I've been at it for 2.5 hours. So, and while I have it largely sketched in, I don't have it on.
Why are you struggling? Not pleased with it?
It's not my design aesthetic.
This is what they asked for.
That, yeah.
Oh,
This is very much what they wanted, not what I would have done given my own druthers.
When sending your invoice, do you prefer to pay full cost of material plus a portion of time prior to the start along with the rest upon completion, or the full price of the cost up front?
I am established, and I'm established in the business. I ask for everything up front. I won't start it until it's paid for. Because that, I mean, you're asking for something custom, you know. Could you get a car with it before you paid for it? You know, I don't know. I mean, no. I ask for everything. I want it all. I want it now. Is that a Queen song? No.
No.
Who is that? Who is that? Same time period?
Did you ask this Queen?
Yeah. I want it all. Who is that?
There is a Queen song.
There is? Okay, is that what I was singing?
I think so.
Yeah, oh, okay, great.
I'm very proud of you.
Good. You questioned me.
But, well, I have to. You've proven in the past to go in directions that no one can follow.
That's true. That's true. You were all ready to mock me, but I pulled it out in the end.
Okay.
Ha ha, wife. Yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay. So glad I came over here.
I'm glad you came over here
I
too,
know
baby.
you are. Ezekiel's going Queen in two as well. In
Oh,
two.
really? that's rare.
Yeah. He's a singer.
So rare he had to mention it. Oh, you didn't suck at that. Okay, great. Here we
Ezekiel's
go.
a musician and a singer, so he's gonna know. Any advice you would have for someone starting in the FX field?
Yes. Make tables. Be an excellent table waiter, and you will go far. No. Okay, now do you want movie FX or just FX in general? Because that's two vastly different pieces of advice. So I want you to answer that, and then I'll answer your question.
Okay, that was Jason Agustin.
Jason, it's back on you, man.
Okay. Mr. K says, when I move to Texas, I definitely want to intern.
Come on.
Okay. When shipping, have you ever dealt with damage?
And I've had things stolen off of porches. I've had people who don't update their PayPal address. So I send it to their ex-wife's house, and then they never get it, and then they're mad at me. Or the people who live in their house now because they moved don't give it to them. But I digress. Yeah, absolutely. I always do insurance. I always pay for the insurance. And I've gotten paybacks 3 times. So yes, sadly it's very common.
Jason says in general. The question mark.
Okay, then in general, learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can and be a little bit good at teeth, be a little bit good at sculpting, be a little bit good at mold making, because you're going to be doing almost everything on your own. Big shops now, movie stuff, that is almost all compartmentalized. No one does it all. There's a guy who makes molds. There's a guy who does teeth, you know.
Do you have a favorite haunted house gimmick?
Yes. Now, haunted house gimmick is a very wide term, but in my brain, that's like a trick or something. So, yes, I would say I do. I really love the hallway with the bright light at the end of it, and the actor can stand underneath that light, and no one can see him until they leap forward. It's brilliant.
Big Dog says the sponge is softening the hard lines and making it come to life.
Yes, yeah, the sponge is doing some good stuff for me. And now I'm just going to put a little socket on the back of the head.
It would be awesome if you would do a predator mask.
I have done a predator
Just
mask.
one.
Go back, look through my videos, and you can see a quickie predator where I make a predator mask from start to finish, starting with nothing, in about 4 hours.
Dog days? No.
Yeah, dog days.
No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. But just look at my videos. Go to my YouTube channel, look at my videos, and you will see quickie predator. Because sometimes you need a predator in like a day and a half.
Do you regret not being on Facebook?
Yes and no. Let's go with the no first. Face Off is very geared towards film. I don't work in film. I don't like film. I am not a failed film makeup artist who is doing haunted houses to get by. I'm a haunted house guy. I love haunted houses. Anytime I work on or with a film, even shooting at dark hour for commercials and stuff, it's always hurry up and wait, and it's very frustrating. So they're very geared towards film. I am not geared towards film, so I did not feel that I would have any benefit from it, because if you do well on Face Off, you get more film jobs. I don't want film jobs, so yeah. Would some money and a little fiat be nice? First of all,
You don't want to be on it.
the tiny fiat that they gave people when they won Face Off, to me was ridiculous. Like, your whole makeup kit couldn't fit in that car. What a tiny car. They should give you a giant van if you win Face Off. But I digress. Anyway, so very geared towards movies. And the first, 6 or 7 seasons or so, there was always a point where I said, okay, that's the week I would have left. Now, the last 3, I think I would have had a shot at, I really think I would have had a shot at, because there wasn't a week where I said, I can't do this, or my work would not have been as good as those. And I know I would have enjoyed it. I would have really enjoyed the competition. So this is why I am sad. I would have enjoyed the competition, and I would have enjoyed going there and doing the best I possibly could as a haunted house makeup artist, and showing that we can hang, not just movie guys. And that might push some folks more towards haunts, the same way that Face Off did a wonderful job of pushing people towards being movie effects artists. So, did I answer the question?
You did.
Great.
You did. I imagine working in film would be very demanding and opinionated.
What I don't like about it is just like this. You're working for someone else all the time. I have some creative input on this, but not a lot. And I'm pushing it with what I'm doing right now, in all honesty. But I don't like that. I want to make my own stuff. And I want to, when I'm done making it, I want to own the rights to it. I don't, a lot of things on film, you can't talk about it because you sign a non-disclosure until the film comes out. And if you're talking low-budget movies and stuff, those movies sometimes never come out. They never get released, or they never find distribution. So that's, that's something that then you can't ever talk about the stuff that you did, which is weird. And if it does, you certainly don't own the rights, and you're probably working for a company who, and they might, the effect shop themselves, they might have a clause in your contract where you can't tell people what you worked on because it's seen as the shop did it. You didn't do it, the shop did it. And I understand that, but if at dark hour, if Ian sculpted something cool, I said, man, Ian sculpted something really cool. If Rob does a really good paint job or something, I say Rob did a good paint job.
Ezekiel says that you don't want to drive a Fiat. My dad drives one that's smaller than a golf cart.
Yeah, they're tiny. I would be that quintessential fat man in a little car.
I wonder how many of the face-off competitors went to bed saying to themselves, thank goodness Alan Hobbs isn't here.
Now, I have several friends who have been on the show, and apparently it was not uncommon for them to watch my YouTube videos in the face-off house, which is, that's cool.
It sucks working on something amazing you can't show anyone. Been doing this for years. It's Ezekiel.
Yeah, it's rough. You can't just say, hey, look at this cool thing I made. And, I'm constantly amazed at people who know who I am. I introduce myself constantly, and they're like, "Oh, we know who you are." Oh, that's but good. All right, this is close. This is pretty close. I mean, I'm zeroing in. These are not refined, obviously, and I would like to do something in here to refine these a little bit. I don't know exactly what that is. I think I'm gonna get some scissors and just cut a tool to clean this up. Oh, very cool. Thanks, Scott. You're the man. I just sculpted a little flat piece so I can get into these guys. It's about the width that I want. Clean them up. And make sure that they're deep enough to cut out.
Ridges on the back of the head look awesome.
Thank you. The back of the head is always a little bit of a conundrum because, it's not a focal point. You don't really want something. You don't want to draw attention from the face. You know, I think one of the worst things that someone could say about your sculpture is, boy, it'd be cool if that was the front, you know? That wouldn't be good. So it has to be visually interesting, but lead you back around to the front of the mask. I think this should be like wrinkly too.
You are so cool. This one's good.
Thank you. Who said I was cool?
Ash Empty.
They're not hip.
You're not cool.
I'm not cool.
Wrinkly like elephant skin, says he.
Yeah, I think that wrinkly is good.
Great. I recently found your older videos and was concerned if you were still making them. Yippee skippy. I plan on making your skin on skeletons this week.
Very cool. The corpsing video, I think, is plastic corpsing is my most watched video.
Is that the one where I caught you on the fence?
Yes. No, that's making a human skin pelt.
Oh, that's one. You are the sole reason I started creating all types of creatures and sculpting. You unlocked a hidden talent in me.
Very cool.
Nice.
That is awesome.
What a nice thing to say.
Why do I make monsters? Because the world needs more monsters. If it's going to be that much bad running around in it, we ought to have enough monsters to blame it on.
You're saying you're trying to decide what you're going to be this weekend?
What I'm going to be for haunt season, yeah. Well, which is this weekend. But, you know, it's one weekend at a time. And first weekend, I may not be able to get out. You know, there's little fires and things you got to fix. Ooh, that looks a little weird. I don't like it. Probably means it's awesome. You have to make sure if you're using water on your brush that you really clean it every now and then and just get water back on it, because what happens is the clay turns into a slurry and then you're filling in those cracks with this mud that you're making. So what I'm about to do is really not in my reference material at all, but I'm doing it anyway. They're not here to stop me. I want to go down. Or go this way.
Would like to see an update on Monster Camp on your website.
I got to talk to my website guy.
Big Dog, we don't have an update right now because we haven't changed anything. It's too early. But if you have any questions...
Do you have the proposed date on there?
The date is still on there.
Okay.
The date of the January 10th, 11th, and 12th is still holding. We haven't changed that. The price has not changed, and the fact that we're doing a half latex mask has not changed. The update we're going to have is actually opening it up to the general public.
And saying, now you can buy.
Now you can grab a spot. But if you have a specific question, you are welcome to ask, and I will get you an answer. No updates because nothing has changed yet. It's too early. But if you've got a question or something you're interested to talk about, right here. You make these for movies, question mark?
No! I make them for haunted houses. I'm a haunted house guy. I am not a movie guy. I do haunted house work. All of these are for haunted houses. It's not to say that movies haven't bought my stuff and used it, but I am making it for haunted houses. I had someone on earlier, honey, asking me to bring the deranged masks back.
Really?
Yeah. In my massive spare time.
Dude, how do I start?
How do you start what?
Making these.
Start. You don't even need to sculpt and mold. I mean, I do a lot of stuff right now build up. I just made a beautiful Wendigo mask that was all built up. So the Predator was all built up, in all honesty. He was not sculpted and molded. So, you know, get some things, make some stuff. Okay, I think I have my main, all my main forms are in. I feel pretty good about that. Let me do some veining on the back of this head. Wouldn't little veins be nice? I think so.
What's in here? Oh, that's good.
I heard a meowing, and it's our cat Jonesy is sitting at the dog door of the shop wanting to get in.
How much for a mask of Alan? Come on, Josie.
I don't make masks that ugly. Yeah, I have a silicone life cast. So at dark hour, there's a lot of like my head floating around, just because, you know, I have a silicone life cast.
Setting for meow when you put it in.
It's a clay extruder. Not my favorite clay extruder.
I missed the bright green thumbnails on your YouTube videos.
Well, I don't do those YouTube videos really much anymore. So, but there will be a YouTube Wednesday on Wednesday.
What?
The last scenic paint that I did, I filmed it all. And it's going to be Scenic Painting 12 will be up on Wednesday. Yeah. Very exciting to me.
Okay, big dog, for Monster Camp 4, unless something changes, January 10th is a Friday, and the class will start at 9 a.m. It will go till approximately 8 till 9 p.m. That is the first day in which you sculpt completely all day. Saturday, same thing, 9 till 8 to 9 p.m. Classes will start at 9, but the time that it ends will vary. Usually on Friday night, you end it at 8 to 9 p.m. Saturday night, 8 to 9 p.m. Sunday, usually about
4 to 6.
4 to 6 p.m. because you're done by then. Class will start at 9. So, if you are looking for specific dates, as it says on the website, currently, I'm saying this right, I need to look at the calendar, but I'm pretty sure in my brain it's right. January 10th is a Friday. Saturday the 11th, Sunday the 12th, you'll wrap up. And then if you join us, make time for Monday, because a gift to our Monster Camp students is that Monday morning we do a private tour of Dark Hour Haunted House, where Alan is the tour guide and the artistic director.
Oh yeah, and that too.
You're that too. And so that is purely optional, but Monday we have a private tour of Dark Hour, which is really cool because it shows you the entire show, lights on, no actors, and then you can see the backstage, costumes, makeup, places where we make the masks and what have you. And that is just a parting gift. It's not necessary, you don't have to do it, but it's really cool, and it's private because Dark Hour is closed on Mondays. Like most theaters, it's dark on Monday, Dark Hour is too. So those dates currently are our tentative dates. I'm not taking any orders or money or reservations yet because it is so early that things can change, and I'm not going to lock in dates until we are halfway at least through haunt season, because haunt season. But as we put on the website, those are the dates and the times. So let me know what other questions you have. I'm right here.
I've been squeezing out some veins.
YouTube Wednesday, insert excited camel here.
Excited camel.
Ezekiel says, very worthwhile seeing behind the scenes of Dark Hour. Jason says, on moth heads, don't they normally have a vertical intention on their head on the butt?
Yes. But that is not my source material.
Will you be doing a string for the mold for this?
It's possible. Possible.
It's not your reference because you were doing a custom.
Yeah, I'm doing what someone else wanted. I'm going by their submitted art. And I don't have, they don't really want it to look insecty. So, yeah. I've already done a Mothman that has that butt face like you're talking about. You know, this is one I'm having a little trouble getting it. It's too far from my vision, I think, but I'm getting there. We're dialing it in. What I'm doing now, guys, is I have put down the veins, and now I'm taking a tool, which looks, I call this my thumb. See how it is that shape this way? See how it curves up a little bit? Kind of like the end of my thumb does. So this is my thumb, and I'm just pushing it. And I'm marrying this to the sculpture. So this vein looks like it's coming out of the skin instead of looking like a rope laid on top of the skin.
Big Dog was asking about Monster Camp after January.
April,
We'll see.
right?
We don't have that nailed down. We don't have anything after 4 nailed down yet.
Wife, you better get on this. The people are asking you.
You're really brave on that.
She won't hit me while I'm on camera.
You are so-
The people are asking you for Monster Camp dates, and I think that you should give it to them.
Do you?
Yes.
Kiss your spring goodbye.
Goodbye, spring.
Goodbye, spring.
That's how my fall was, wasn't it? Okay.
Ezekiel, I love you. So you might be sleeping outdoors if you upset the wife.
Not outdoors. I have a shop. So, is Michael Lassiter still on?
No, yeah, give it.
Oh, good night, Lassiter. Just going to see if he was working at a haunted house or not.
We get our really gremlin
What's that, honey?
our really gremlin, like filled sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have Monster Can 5 ready here yet. Haven't done 4.
All right, so now doing that kind of sharpens the veins a little bit, and I'm just knocking the ridge off of them, if that makes. I'm softening where into the head. I'm really just paring that down so the look just goes into the head, just like dives underneath it.
This is the drug Dungeon Man 2. Got to peel early. Those morning jobs. Love your work. As
Thank you.
always. Looking forward to catching the rest of the school.
Hooray! Thank you for watching.
Shannon, the engineer, from as well. Thank you for answering all my questions. This is Jason. I have to sign off now. I'll have to check back the finished product in front of your channel. It is all 10 till 11 on a Sunday night.
Okay.
People are starting to peel off.
Yeah, there's only 36 left.
This is the sun trip. School.
But this is pare down, pare down, pare down.
Okay.
You put it on and you think that you put it on and it's too heavy, it's too much. But then by the time you weld it into the mask, by the time you pare it down enough, you know, this is going to look more like a vein on it.
Did you have Monster Camp questions tonight?
Yeah, a couple. Honey, do you think I should write a book? What do you, you're having a drink. What do you think?
Right, get you to write a handout for transport.
That's true. Because,
I saw the Werewolf College handout that you received and suggested that for Monster Camp. It's given the,
well, yes.
so. Do I think you should? Absolutely. Do I think you will? No.
Yeah. But simply because, and the reason why I brought it up is I read through all of the Hops on Haunts, which is 15 years old. A lot of those posts are 17, 18 years old. Because it was collected, you know, for a couple of years on the Haunt World forums. So, some updated info wouldn't be bad.
That's what I was saying. We need to revamp the videos.
That's true too.
Why would you think that a book would, you know, are you talking about an electronic book?
Yeah, an ebook. Yeah. Yeah, just because the book we have is old.
All of the videos would. Not all.
Don't make me run away in front of it. See how that vein is getting calmer? The water on it now.
I don't know what you asked about.
I just told you.
I know, but did that come up tonight?
No, I just read through it. And now, I would say this vein is good, but it's all the same. So now I'm going to go in and reduce some of this. See how that looks a little more veiny than it did before? It's too strong. All of it is the same. None of it is so far under the skin you can barely see it. And that's how veins sort of operate. I'm actually going to cut off here fairly soon. I've got this guy in a good spot. I'm going to soften these veins a bit more, and then I'm going to wrap it for the night. Sound good? Maybe. Yes, this guy's got about 24 pounds of clay. See, now this piece of the vein is more buried. It's more subtle. I kept all the twists and turns that I liked in it. I left those fairly strong. But I calmed down this part. Let's go to this other one. World of difference. Look at that vein that has not been calmed down. And look at that one that has. No more.
It's awesome. Can't wait to see the finished product. Good night, y'all. It's Carrie at Bigford.
Good night, Carrie. You're right, wife. They're dropping like flies.
It's Sunday now. We'll have Monday off.
Ezekiel, what time is it in Australia? Oh, in the afternoon or at night?
Afternoon. I said 1:53 p.m. I said, good evening all. Looking forward to seeing the progress next video. I have to go get my monsters from school. Ezekiel's going to go pick his kids up.
Why are they going to school so late at night? Must be a night school. Okay. Feeling better about this guy. I didn't feel good about it, well, throughout most of the process.
Scott Colehart, do you know if robust for MHC shipped?
Yeah, it did. Like, right after MHC. If you don't have it, then I have to fix that. Okay, let me, it's not hard, I can ship you another one, but I thought that was done months ago. Okay. So, Scott, can you shoot me a message just so I have that and I can get that squared away? Here is our Mothman as it is now. All right. Scott is saying I do not. What do you not? Scott, can you shoot me a message? Just shoot me a message on Facebook. That way I can get it squared away. Okay. So, what do you guys think? I like the little ear holes on him. I think those are nice. And again, he's going to have antenna. Like a these.
Oh, the same. Where'd you get those? This Hobby Lobby? Oh, I love them.
So he'll be very with these at least. All right.
Very dear.
So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I did. It was good to be back live again. And maybe I'll go live again tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And go make stuff.